Hello and welcome. You're here now, and that's all that matters. However your day has been, whatever brought you to this moment, you've arrived, and you're welcome here. This is a space where nothing is asked of you, where there's no need to perform or think or solve anything. You can simply be. Take a moment to settle in, to adjust your pillow or your blanket, to find the position that feels right for your body tonight. There's no rush. There's no right way to do this. Whatever feels comfortable is exactly right. If your mind is still busy, that's okay. If thoughts are still moving through, let them move. They don't need to be stopped or controlled. They'll settle on their own. The way dust settles when the air becomes still. You don't have to do anything about them. Let your shoulders drop if they're holding tension. Let your jaw relax if it's been tight. Let your hands rest wherever they've landed. The body knows how to release when it feels safe. And this is a safe place. Nothing here will startle you or demand your attention. Everything that follows is designed to be gentle, slow, and easy to let go of. You don't need to stay awake for any of this. You don't need to listen to every word or follow the story closely. The only thing you need to do is rest, and even that will happen on its own when the time is right. So welcome. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Tonight there is nowhere else to be. Nothing that needs doing. No one waiting for anything at all. The day has already finished everything it was going to finish. And whatever remains can wait. The hours ahead belong to nothing but rest. The world outside continues on its own terms. But none of that requires attention now. Everything that mattered today has already been handled. Everything that will matter tomorrow is still far enough away to be forgotten. There is permission here to let go of whatever the mind has been carrying. The thoughts that have been circling can find their own place to rest. The small tensions that accumulated through the hours can release now, can soften, can dissolve into the quiet that is settling in. The body knows what the night is for. It knows how to soften when the day ends, how to release the holding that waking requires. This knowledge does not need direction. It simply happens, the way breathing happens, the way rest arrives when conditions are right, and somewhere in a quiet corner of the world, Rain has been falling steadily all afternoon, the kind of rain that doesn't rush, doesn't storm, simply falls with patient persistence against windows and rooftops, and the soft earth below. Inside, a small room holds the warmth of the day. The curtains are drawn halfway, letting in the gray light of an afternoon that has surrendered to the clouds. A reading chair sits near the window, its cushions worn soft from years of quiet hours spent exactly like this one. The sound of the rain fills the room without overwhelming it. A gentle, constant rhythm against the glass. Droplets gathering and sliding down in slow paths. The patter on the roof above, muffled and steady. This is the kind of sound that asks for nothing, that simply accompanies. Someone has been resting in the chair for some time now, a blanket across the lap, a book set aside on the small table nearby. The reading stopped some time ago, replaced by the simple act of listening to the rain, of watching the gray light shift, of being present without needing to do anything at all. The room carries the warmth of a heater that clicked off an hour ago, but left its comfort behind. The temperature is exactly right. That perfect balance between the coolness of the rainy day outside and the gathered warmth within. Through the window, the world has gone soft. The rain blurs the edges of everything, turns the trees into gentle shapes, makes the street below glisten with reflected light. Occasionally a car passes, its tires hissing on the wet pavement, then fading away. The blanket holds the warmth of the body it covers, soft fabric that has been washed many times, worn into perfect comfort. Hands rest on top of it, relaxed and still. The rain continues its patient work outside, not changing, not building to anything, simply continuing. This is rain that will last for hours, that has already lasted for hours, that asks for nothing but the willingness to let it be. The gray light in the room shifts slowly as clouds move overhead, darker, then lighter, then darker again. These changes happen without urgency, part of the natural rhythm of an afternoon that has no appointments to keep. A cup of tea sits on the table, long since cooled, forgotten in the simple pleasure of listening to the rain. It doesn't matter. Nothing here demands attention or completion. The book lies where it was set aside, pages down, waiting for a return that may or may not come. The story inside can wait. The real story is the rain, the warmth, the quiet, the rest. The sound of water fills every corner of the room. The steady rhythm against the window. The occasional gurgle from the gutter outside. The soft drumming on the roof. All of it together creates a kind of music that requires no listener. That plays simply because rain is what rain does. The body in the chair has found its perfect position. Head resting against the back of the chair, slightly tilted, shoulders dropped, arms loose, legs comfortable beneath the blanket. This is the posture of complete surrender to the afternoon. The rain touches the window in patterns that have no pattern, random yet constant, unpredictable yet utterly reliable, the kind of gentle chaos that the mind finds soothing, that asks for no interpretation or response. Outside, the trees are dark with water, their leaves heavy and still, receiving the rain without resistance. The grass below has deepened in color, fed by the steady gift of water. Everything outside is simply being rained upon, and everything seems content with this. The warmth in the room mingles with the sound of the rain, both constant, both comforting. The temperature touches the skin gently, while the sound touches something deeper, some ancient part of the brain that recognizes this rhythm, that has been calmed by rain since before memory. The afternoon has no middle and no end. It simply continues, gray and gentle and unhurried. The light will fade eventually, but not yet. For now, there is only this, only the rain and the warmth and the quiet. The breath has found its own rhythm, slow and deep, matching something, perhaps the rain, perhaps nothing at all, simply the rhythm the body finds when there is nothing to do, nothing to think, nothing to be but present. A gust of wind presses rain harder against the window for a moment. The sound intensifies briefly, then settles back to its steady pace. These small variations are part of the music, part of the afternoon's gentle breathing. The room holds its peace around the resting body, four walls that keep out the rain, that hold in the warmth that create this space where nothing is required. The ceiling above catches the soft sound from the roof. The floor below holds the chair that holds the body, that holds the rest. Time has stopped being measured. There is no clock visible from the chair. And even if there were, the eyes are not open to see it. The afternoon exists outside of time, in the space where rain falls and warmth holds, and rest happens without being pursued. The tea continues to cool, moving toward the temperature of the room. The book continues to wait. The rain continues to fall. Everything continues without needing attention or direction. The curtains move slightly in the small draft from the window. Not enough to see, just enough to feel. The air in the room shifts gently, carrying the warmth, carrying the faint scent of rain through whatever small gap exists between window and frame. The body has been still for so long that stillness has become its natural state, not the tense stillness of waiting, but the deep stillness of rest. Muscles that have stopped holding, bones that have stopped bracing, a system that has downshifted into the quiet mode of an afternoon without demands. The rain outside is the same rain that has been falling for hours, the same rhythm, the same patience, the same gentle persistence. It will continue through the afternoon and into the evening, a constant companion that asks nothing in return for its presence. The warmth touches every part of the resting body. The blanket contributes its share. The room contributes its share. The body's own heat contributes the rest. Together, they create a cocoon of comfortable temperature that the skin has stopped noticing. So perfect that it has become invisible. The gray light shifts again, slightly darker now, though it's impossible to say whether this is the clouds or the time. The room absorbs the change without comment. The rest continues without interruption. The chair has held many afternoons like this one, rainy days when the world outside becomes soft and blurred, when staying inside feels not like hiding, but like being exactly where one should be. The cushions remember these hours of rest, have shaped themselves to receive whoever needs them. The sound of the rain changes slightly as the wind shifts. For a moment, the drops hit the window at a different angle, creating a new pattern in the constant rhythm. Then the wind settles, and the familiar sound returns. These small variations are part of the comfort, part of the aliveness of the rain. Through the gap in the curtains, the afternoon light continues its slow transformation. The gray has deepened almost imperceptibly. The day is aging, but so slowly that each moment feels eternal. There is no rush toward evening, no countdown to darkness, only this continuous present of rain and warmth and quiet. The blanket has molded itself to the shape of the resting body. Its edges drape perfectly, its weight distributed evenly. This is the kind of comfort that accumulates over time, the result of many adjustments and settlings. Now complete, a drop of water slides down the outside of the window, catching what little light there is. It traces a wandering path through other droplets, joining some, avoiding others, eventually disappearing below the frame. Another drop begins its journey. This is the slow drama of a rainy window, endlessly fascinating and endlessly soothing. The warmth in the room has reached its perfect equilibrium. The heater no longer needed. The body's heat now matching the air's temperature exactly. This is the warmth that allows complete relaxation, that asks nothing of the body's temperature regulation systems. The rain has been falling for so long that it's difficult to imagine the world without it. The memory of sunshine feels distant, unreal. This gray, wet afternoon has become the only reality, and it's a reality that asks for nothing but presence. The book on the table has a bookmark somewhere in its middle pages, a story half-read, characters suspended in their fictional lives. They will wait patiently for a return that the afternoon does not demand. Everything can wait. The rain says so. The breathing has become so slow and so regular that it has merged with the sound of the rain. Inhale as drops patter against the glass. Exhale as water slides down the pane. A rhythm within a rhythm, a rest within a rest. The small table beside the chair holds its few objects in perfect stillness. The cold cup of tea, the abandoned book, a pair of reading glasses, folded and set aside. These objects tell a simple story of an afternoon given over to rain listening. to warmth feeling, to being rather than doing. Outside, the rain continues to transform the world. The street has become a mirror, reflecting the gray sky above. The trees have become deeper shades of themselves, their colors intensified by the water. Everything outside is being renewed by the steady fall of rain. Inside, the transformation is different, but equally real. The body has transformed into pure rest. The mind has transformed into pure presence. The afternoon has transformed into pure now. The curtains hang still in the quiet air. Their fabric has absorbed some of the gray light, becoming part of the afternoon's palette of soft colors. Everything in the room exists in this muted harmony. Nothing bright, nothing demanding, everything gentle. The rain sounds different now than it did an hour ago, though the difference is too subtle to name. Perhaps the drops have grown slightly smaller. Perhaps the wind has shifted just enough. Perhaps the ears have simply grown more attuned to the variations within the constant. Whatever the cause, the rain remains rain, and the comfort remains comfort. The floor beneath the chair holds its steady support. Wooden boards that have carried furniture and footsteps for decades, now carrying only the weight of rest. The chair presses down. The floor presses back. Between them, the perfect stability that rest requires. The body has forgotten it, has edges. The boundary between skin and blanket, between warmth and warmth, has dissolved. There is only comfort now, continuous and borderless, filling the space where a body used to be separate from its surroundings. The rain asks nothing. The warmth asks nothing. The afternoon asks nothing. And in response to all this nothing asked, the body gives nothing but its presence, its weight, its breathing, its rest. The warmth touches every part of the resting body. The blanket contributes its share. The room contributes its share. The body's own heat contributes the rest. Together, they create a cocoon of comfortable temperature that the skin has stopped noticing. So perfect that it has become invisible. The gray light shifts again, slightly darker now, though it's impossible to say whether this is the clouds or the time. The room absorbs the change without comment. The rest continues without interruption. The The sound of the rain has become the sound of everything, the background against which silence exists, the texture of the afternoon, the voice of the world speaking in its most gentle language. The afternoon continues its patient progression toward wherever afternoons go. The light shifts again, slightly deeper into gray. The rain maintains its rhythm against the window, the roof, the world. Nothing ends, nothing begins. Everything continues. The warmth has become so familiar, it has ceased to be noticed, like the air itself, like the support of the chair. It has become simply the medium of existence, present and invisible, necessary and undemanding. Somewhere far away, a church bell sounds, muffled by the rain and the distance. The sound arrives softly, counts its hours, and fades. The afternoon absorbs it and continues. The rain continues. The rest continues. The hands resting on the blanket have not moved in a very long time. Fingers slightly curled, palms soft, wrists loose. These are hands that have no task, that hold nothing, that simply exist at the ends of arms, that have surrendered all purpose to the afternoon. The rain touches every surface it can find. The window receives it directly. The roof receives it above. The walls receive its sound, its rhythm, its constant, gentle reminder that outside is wet and here is dry, that outside is cool and here is warm, that outside is rain and here is rest. The reading glasses on the table catch a faint gleam from the window, a small reminder of the reading that was. That will be again someday. But that is not needed now. The eyes behind closed lids need no correction. What they see is internal, formless, restful. The room has taken on the quality of a held breath, though nothing is actually being held. Everything is released. Everything is settled. Everything is exactly where it belongs. This is the stillness that comes after letting go. That follows the decision to need nothing. The blanket rises and falls with each slow breath, a gentle movement, barely visible. The only sign of life in the perfect stillness of the scene. Everything else holds still while this small rhythm continues. The proof that rest is not absence, but presence. The sound of the rain has layers, that reveal themselves over time. The primary rhythm against the window, the deeper note of rain on the roof, the occasional gurgle of water finding its way through gutters, the faint hiss of rain on pavement, audible through the glass, all of it together, all of it constant, all of it comfort. The afternoon asks nothing because it needs nothing. It is complete in itself. This gray and rainy time, this quiet and warm space, what could be added? What could be improved? The answer is nothing, and the answer is rest. The sound of the rain has become the sound of everything, the background against which silence exists, the texture of the afternoon, the voice of the world speaking in its most gentle language. Somewhere in the distance, very faint, a car horn sounds. Then silence returns, filled immediately by the rain, as if the rain had never stopped, as if the silence had never been broken, as if the only real sound is, and has always been the water falling against the window, the roof, the world. The breath continues its slow rhythm. The warmth continues its steady presence. The rain continues its patient falling. Everything continues together. Everything part of the same afternoon, the same rest, the same quiet. The body in the chair has drifted into the space between waking and sleeping. Thoughts have slowed to nearly nothing. Awareness has softened to a general sense of comfort, of safety, of being held by the afternoon itself. The rain continues against the window. The warmth holds steady in the room. The gray light rests gently on everything it touches. The sound of the rain fills the space now, steady and endless. The rhythm continuing its pattern. The water falling against the glass. The warmth remains constant in the room. The rain continuing its patient work. The afternoon holding everything in its quiet way. The sound of the rain against the window. The water falling, gathering, sliding down. The rhythm holding steady. The rain continuing. The warmth present. The quiet deepening. The sound of the rain. The rhythm of the water. The afternoon holding. The rain falling. The warmth holding. The quiet continuing.